Namaste. In this video, I'm gonna explain how past life karma creates fear of failure and how it blocks our success in this current life. You might be working hard for it, you might want it, and you've taken every step possible for you to be successful in a particular path. But without your knowledge, perhaps you would have maybe had an incident in your past life, something to do with success or something to do with a strong failure. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through each step. Okay, from the past life incident to the each layer of your aura and how it seeps in into our current life and what can we do to help ourselves towards the end of the video. So unless until you understand this, why need you understand is because sometimes we keep working so hard and there's no answer on why we fail, and it's so heartbreaking. So when we understand that if there is a pattern and there is something related with the past, using multiple examples, and I'm gonna bring awareness on this layered concept, I am hoping that you get empowered to heal yourself, um, or attempt to heal yourself in various ways that can bring you or propel you into the right path which divine wants you to do. So let's take an example, like perhaps you have this an incident in the past which made you fail. Okay, you had gone through a situation where in a past life something like you faced a public betrayal, or somebody shamed you, somebody humiliated you for your work, and you, without your knowledge, you thought, oh, if this brings me to this place of humiliation or judgmenting from crowds, or after so long of working, perhaps I failed, so perhaps success is not my cup of tea, or um, I may not want to come out and talk about my knowledge or my expertise, because if I come out and talk, perhaps it might lead into humiliation or betrayals, or some people making fun of me, kind of thing. And that happened sometime, some lifetime ago. And I keep telling you, right? These are all soul imprints. And unless until we as a soul evolve to a place of zeroing off all these imprints, they're negative. Okay. Any any imprint do have positive and negative. So the positive side of such an imprint of facing a humiliation or facing a betrayal or having lack of success in some life, I have an imprint inside me that um, people can laugh at me. So I'll be super conscious about my way of look, talk, and I'll be super careful about what people think about me. So the positive side might be that I go to a level where I work super hard. I do all in my capacity to not get any negative comments. So all the while I'll be like a top performer. All the while I'll be like a good person. People do when someone talk about you, they think you're really a good person because you don't leave any stone unturned to be good. So you can go to extra mile in being good, so that way people don't comment about you. So if that's, like in one life you got super humiliated, and because of that scenario, you end up here either. So again, the kind of vows we make, some of us may say, okay, I should never be, I can't be ever successful, so that can be a vow. Or sometimes I'm super scared of judgments, so I'm not going to open my mouth. That can be one way. Or the other one is, I'll go to a level where people never can comment about me or my work, so I can become an expert in that space. So any which way I can take this vow to into my imprint. And for regarding success, I might think success is not my cup of tea, so better avoid it. Or I can also say that no matter what, I won't give up. Okay, in whichever way you have taken, I'm gonna take this scenario where you are scared of humiliation again, facing humiliation, and you think success. You've not thought about success as such because the imprint there was I can't be success. I mean, if at all I came to become successful, people can humiliate my work. So on the underground, I have a boundary. I can be successful in front of these crowds where I feel safe. But if it goes beyond my profession, I would stay quiet and calm. I would not be comfortable being successful at a level where I can't control the outcomes. Say, for example, say you are somebody who are humiliated in the past life, right? So you will do everything which is at the behind. You don't want to show your face. You don't want to come out and talk about your work because you're scared. So you might want to excel in areas where you are not the face of that uh, output. You will be behind, say execution and stuff. So somewhere you will be like playing under the umbrella of one person. Beneath that person you can be, but you won't be willing to take the lead and charge and stuff like that. So if that's something which is you, I want you to understand how this all seeps in. Okay, so the first thing we took is the soul carries this memory. And the second point I want to make it is till we complete this soul memory in a positive way. Okay, so I get out of this humiliation imprint I have, because it's every phase, every life has different lessons to learn. In that life, I had this lesson of humility, so I've been humiliated. That's the lesson. Instead of learning humility and humility, what I took on is fear of failure, fear of judging, fear of people making fun of me, and fear of not visibility. Like I don't want to come out and talk about my work, or um, eh, I don't want to be a center of attention for anything. So if that's the case, how it seeps in into this life is the seventh layer, which is your Ketheric template layer, which consists of the soul karma. It comes and seeps in into the seventh layer. It remembers this impression from the past life where it is all stored. And divine gives us multiple cycles to let go of that humiliation energy because it's not serving us in any way, and want us to again shine our light, staying humble and with humility. So this is what is the actual lesson I'm to learn. But what I took as an imprint is to be scared of fear of public, fear of coming out and speaking, visibility, and stuff like that. So, because the lesson what divine wants us to learn to get liberation is not learned, we keep continuing taking the birth over birth over birth. And once we take the birth, all these connected lifetimes. So, every life we take from there, divine puts us into situations where we nevertheless will be judged, will be humiliated, betrayed, or and with every cycle, if we have not learned this lesson of being humble and being with humility while pursuing our goals and dreams, and if you have not learned it, what is the default of way we go ahead is to avoid people making fun of me. I would definitely be like thoroughly hard worker. And secondly, I'm gonna not I like to be behind the doors, like in shadows. I don't want to come out and be visible. Where all I can get humiliated, there all I will either avoid or play nice. And with every cycle, this tightens. And imagine you've taken some 5 to 10 lives. You know, maybe most of us do take even 50 to 60 lifetimes. I've seen some people do take like 300, 400 lifetimes also on the same topic. unfortunate. But then to this life, it becomes so choked for them that they definitely can't avoid it, putting the spotlight on it. So during that time, what happens is the last layer, which is our aura layer. So from the incident, there is a record from the divine. You can take it as your Chitragupta record, Akashic record, whatever records. And from there, divine has we as a soul have a conversation with divine saying, I need to learn these lessons. And then divine from our pool of friendly souls comes and asks who's going to play roles which can help them remind this whole scenario. So some people turn up to be our friends, some people as enemies, just as roles for us to remember this situation that I'm here to learn this lesson of humility and humility and let go of my imprint of fear of failure or fear of success or fear of being um, humiliated. So from there, what happens is it moves on to celestial layer of our aura, which is a sixth layer. And here, whatever we thought, it translates into, because celestial body is the body which talks about divine perceptions. So since we thought there in that lifetime, imagine with another cup that how come God do this for me? How come divine don't support my mission? If that's the imprint I've stored, in this life, I do have a similar kind of a notion when it comes to divine. So I will dismiss the faith. I will not take faith into consideration. I don't do much of prayers, or I don't involve anything serious while I'm, with trusting God. On the contrary, if you are a person who is deeply ingrained in spiritual concepts, even in that lifetime, so here you will still have this concern about failure and fear and success, but you will be somebody who's religious. Okay, that's the difference there. So whatever that is, that translates into your celestial body from 7th to 6th. So the same situation. From there, it moves to the 5th, which is your etheric template. Here what happens is it starts to design this current life. Okay, so without our knowledge, we start attracting the situations of maybe repeatedly people make fun of us, they keep accumulating our intelligence, capabilities, our wisdom, our abilities to do certain things, and not marks or the way we speak or the way we behave. So there's a sense of inferiority that starts picking up from the beginning to remind us that hardworking and the only way to succeed in life is to thorough hard work and to be super nice to a level that even though you like or not, you do things beyond what you can for people around you to just have that tag of being nice so that people don't make fun of you or pull you down kind of thing. And when it comes to you will be good with writing or doing things on your own, but when it comes to public scrutiny, like somebody asks you to answer a question when you're at school, or when you are authority, you'll have fear of authority. Somebody who comes and talks, you need to talk about some things which are your expertise in groups, public speaking and stuff. You'll have super fear. So these are all ways, because you're so scared of judgment, right? So you will avoid the public visibility spaces. And without your knowledge, you are really repeating all these failure situations and toxic environments where people do the roles they are playing is to remind you of not to be scared of fear of failure or having a humiliation energy in your imprint, or betrayal energy, or to let go of this hold that you are holding about not wanting to be visible outside. And that again triggers your astral body connection, which is your subconscious belief system. So all the beliefs that are there saying I'm not good enough, I can't succeed, or if you don't remember anything about succeed, I'm scared of public talks, public speaking is not my cup of tea. I like to stay like a wallflower. I don't like to come in public. So that's how you have these subconscious beliefs that's formed that I'm good at certain things, I'm not good with certain things, and I attract people, situations that confirm my inner belief and faith. So from there, it moves on to your mental body, which is your layer three, which is more about your thought patterns. So the karma has taken a constant overthinking pattern. Like I continuously keep working hard because of fear of judgment. I want to be perfect. I want to, if still I do have self doubt, I have trouble in exposing or being in public or center of attention of some in any place. I do a lot of hesitate. I do over planning, and I endlessly want to be my better self because of the fear of judging. And anything that comes out of my work, even though I look for validation outside. If some people tell me that I'm good, I tend to feel good. And if my work is not appreciated by anybody else, I might feel taken back and inferior, and I doubt my work, and I want to hide it from others. I end up doing such kind of thought. The thought patterns will help make me do such kind of things, which will somehow drain my energy and the momentum with which I can achieve my goals. Now, from there, I get into my emotional body, which is your layer two, which is like you do have this place is more about your emotions. So, emotions of fear, uh, your sadness about failing, or your anxiety about certain things not happening the way you have, or you feel total fear of rejections, or you get triggered by somebody making fun of you, or humiliating you, or shaming you, even at the slightest ways. You want to avoid criticism at any cost, and if there are lack of results in whatever you are doing, you get highly disappointed, you want to quickly move on and stuff like that. So the important point to focus here is the pain you're experiencing is much bigger than the actual problem or situation that has happened. Other person who had a similar experience may not react as emotionally charged as the way you are responding in that particular scenario. And then finally, it moves into your etheric body, which is your current physical body, impacting your chakras, the current places where there needs to block or clog or unbalance based on all these scenarios. So here we're talking about your solar plexus, which is your swadhisthana, which is again mostly you're losing your willpower, your confidence. You feel defeated, and your root chakra, Mooladhara, will be like struggling for basic stability. And then you'll not, because you felt God betrayed you, God didn't give you enough guidance. You may not even have a good guidance, whatever God work you're doing. The third eye might be blocked, so you may not feel that guidance that's coming your way. So all of this can lead into extended headaches and brain fogs and lot of fatigue at a body level. And at an esteem level, you might be feeling extremely underconfident, scared, doubly working hard with constant fear of failing and stuff like that. So this is how your actual one scenario leads into so even if imagine if if this kind of scenario, guys have to the way they can succeed, God puts us into these kind of professions or places just to learn that lesson. So even it means as you're growing up, you still struggle, and you are taken from places, even though you choose safe places where you're not the forefront of certain things, or you don't have to directly communicate with anyone for you to feel that phase of failure. But God will invariably pull you out from that places and put you into places where you need to be visible, You need to stay humble. You need to learn humility. You need to be perfect, but not coming from this place of fear or fear of judgment, but with a passion that I need to deliver the best that I can, coming from a total acceptance of where I am and what I am, what I can do, knowing my strengths and being really aware of my weaknesses, and also allowing myself to be okay with being in public and being in center of attention, um, and have that confidence that if somebody makes fun of me or judges me, um, I'm not gonna give that importance. If there's something to learn, I'm gonna learn. It's like a comment which doesn't weigh anything. I might just ignore. So I have to come to that place for me to get that loop completed. So until then, I'll be pulled into these kind of situations where I need to be face of certain things. I need to speak out. I need to talk, and I shouldn't. And unfortunately, this will be in my inner circle. The people who hurt me, trigger me with betrayals or humiliations or judgments or making fun of my capabilities and inabilities, all will be in my innermost, even at workplace or at home. So the challenge is for you to still in the face of this kind of rejections, humiliations, betrayal, still can I just let go of that fear and raise beyond. That's the whole point of this evolution. And once you get there, that's where this whole learning has complete for you. So then you will not have any of the situations anymore. So back the way the learning has been accomplished, it all goes back and gets again recorded in your seventh layer of aura, so that it's carry forward for your next soul journey. You will not be put under this problem for you to work, but another problem. So what we can do for us to let go of these kind of karmic imprints, of course there is healing through professionals like us, but then not necessarily it's the only path. You can heal yourself too. How? When you can surrender to God and say, that's why I keep saying, God has a capability to interfere in any of these layers, any of these planes, like at your karmic layer, energy level, at your emotional level, thought patterns and beliefs level, your emotional level, and your actions level. Any of these, God can interfere and alter it in a flick of an eye blink. So, what we need to do is first get into devotional side, because even if you told you want to use your manifestation techniques or whatsoever, like as if it's already done, already that's a trigger for me. How can I imagine that it's already there if when it's not? It's a journey on its own. But imagine I do have a solid I do solid prayers for 30 minutes daily, and I have learned to build a definitive connection with my God, which is more on leaning towards parabhakti, surrendering, saranagati, dinartha, and taking everything as a prasad, whatever good, bad. That paves path for us to get this divine guidance. Because remember, I told you your third eye could be blocked, which stops you from getting this divine guidance. And in cases where you had the scenarios but you still had no imprint on faith or God, then it is positive in this. So you might be getting this guidance from God, but your fears will take over to a level that you can't go beyond those fears. That's how it happens. In case if you're someone who's religious but not into sadhanas and stuff. But now, once you take up a sadhana and start building real connection with God, that surrendering can help you to accept certain parts of yourself as not something which is broken or something to be shameful, but as somebody who can really celebrate who you are, your strengths and your quirks and weaknesses. And from there, if you can get into the moment you feel you're pushed to do certain things that's away from your comfort zone, you might have this kind of a vairagya, a non-dual um, um, approach, Vedanta based approach, which is talking about like, can I be witness to this, whatsoever is happening? What is that I'm carrying which is not mine, which I need to shed down? Is there any karmic imprint behind this whole experience? And if so, what it could be? I can be in a self inquiry mode when you get into your Jnana Yoga aspect. And then when you look at the Karma Yoga and take rightful actions aligned with the divine guidance, combining it with Raja Yoga, which is your meditative stance, when you do your japas and with your karanyasas and hridayadinasas, what happens is you're installing divine into your thing. So with every evoking of divine, you get more strength to surrender, to not have fear instead have faith on the same. And and the most important part, when you are doing the japa or prayers, what you would do is, as your mind wanders, you'll train it to bring back to the object of contemplation, even if it's breath or even if it's a deity that's there in between my eyebrows or at my heart center. So as I'm getting trained to this, I also get present whenever I'm stopped by fear of judgment, fear of failure, humiliation, um, or perfectionism to a level that I keep going on and on and on and on in the same work. I can remind myself, I can get present to that moment and start taking actions which is in line with the new me, which is believing it's okay to make mistakes, but it's always good to learn from them instead of being scared of even making mistakes. And I can take actions which I think can take a constructive feedback. And no feedback is personal that somebody's gonna attack me. And keep looking at ways to improve myself without having fear of judgment or criticism, but acceptance that and a sense of belief that whatever I'm delivering is really good. I don't need to look for people's validations anymore for me to confirm whether my work is good or not. Because I know that it's good, it must be good. So if at all I want to get in this state of confidence with myself, what is that one anchor that I can have as my divine strength? So the moment I build this connection with my divine, I know divine will hold me, support me, guide me, protect me. And with that, when I manifest things that are in line with my new me, slowly, slowly, as I keep taking consistent actions about my emotional management, whenever I have anger, whenever I have fear, whenever I feel any gripping things of emotional distress, I can just simply use my breathing techniques, pranayama, or any box breathing technique, 478 breathing technique, any breathing technique to center myself. So emotional management is done. Then the belief system, I can question, I can talk to myself that no, if it happens once, it doesn't mean it happens every single time. Maybe I need to learn another mistake. I need to learn this. So when I'm doing this kind of realignment with what my goals are and what my outcomes are to be, um, I will at some point come to a place where I no more have fear of judgment, fear of failure, criticism, betrayal, and I have total acceptance for who I am. And I'm so humbly presenting my work, or with a lot of humility presenting my work, ready to learn and seek what is good and discard what's not good according to my understanding and wisdom, with a lot of humility. And at that phase, your karma gets zero. And that is where you not just learned yourself a lesson to manifest success and greatness in this life, but also for the generations to come. And if you like this kind of a content, please do like, subscribe, and also comment about your scenarios that you're going through so that we can dissect what could have possibly happened in that life that is manifesting as this in your current life, and what are some ways to handle it and heal it. All right. Thank you. So that's how you have these subconscious beliefs that's formed that I'm good at